Hello everyone, we're back live on the spotlight for the fallout of the United Liverpool game. I'm a bit late to the party on this one because I've been at work all day and it's been sinking in how poor the team are. I mean, it's been said on every other video and I don't know what else to say on it on this one. It's absolutely unbelievable. A 9-0 average score against Liverpool, home and away. One of my mates spat some facts out that Norwich, I think let me get this up here, Norwich have actually conceded less goals. So let me have a look at this here. So Norwich versus Man City and Liverpool home and away this season. They scored 2 goals and conceded 14. Man United versus Norwich versus Liverpool and Man City scored 1 goal, conceded 16. And that might have been at 3-0, so it might be 17. So we're officially worse than bottom of the table against Liverpool and Man City, our 2 biggest rivals. What I don't get is, why can't we just be hard to beat? Burnley go to Liverpool, they nearly get a result. Everton go there, they nearly get a result. At least they stay in the game for most of it. They're not just washed away. I mean, we set up with a back 5 out of nowhere with the most random team I've ever seen, and within 4 minutes, they've scored. Ralph Rangnick after the game saying, I don't know why we were that high. We're playing a back 5, I told them to be deep. Within 4 minutes, Harry Maguire is doing his usual thing of trying to win the ball on the halfway line or further up, and he don't get tight enough and they're getting behind him and he ain't got the pace to recover. It happens all the time. The guy needs to either get up their arses and foul them or make a tackle, or he needs to not engage whatsoever and just stay in his defensive line. I mean, I play Sunday League football as a basic average centre-back, and that's in my mind. Should I go to that man over the halfway line, or should I leave him and let him pick the ball up and stay compact? But Maguire don't seem to get it, and he's playing against the fucking best forward line in the world and he's all over the place. No, you've got Phil Jones and Lindelof trying to recover for him. Why ain't Bailly playing? If for nothing else, just a little bit of pace. So it's on Maguire, that for me. They'll have been set out to play a back 5 and deep. Rangnick said it after the game. He's trying to win the ball over the halfway line. He's done him behind. In 4 minutes, he's not listening to the tactics and he's the captain. Joke. The second goal, you can blame whoever you want really, but Lindelof's made a bad pass into midfield. Is it Diaz picks it up, just basically runs through our entire midfield. Well, it's a great bit of football, to be honest. It's just a good goal, the second one. You're not going to stop it, really. Dalot could be tight. This is Salah, I think it was, wasn't it, who scored the second one. Salah's on his toes, he's gone. Dalot's the right side of him to start with, but he switched off, he's not followed the run. The third goal, I'm trying to rack my brain here because it was just unbelievable. The third goal, I can't even remember it right now. But so I'll go on to the fourth because the fourth... Oh, the third goal was the square to Mane, wasn't it? That might have been the pass into midfield that was intercepted. I think it was. Pass into midfield intercepted. But Maguire's with Mane. And Mane just holds his run a little bit. You can call it clever for Mane or just stick with your man Maguire again and he don't get the shot in. That's when we had a 10-minute spell of looking okay. But I don't think that was United looking good. I think it was Liverpool were basically playing a training game and were complacent. And the Klopp gave them a kick up the arse. They went and scored the third and we never saw the ball again. There's no to do with us coming out after the break and being good. It was about Liverpool just being like Thiago, basically, all game taking the absolute piss. So don't pretend we were good for 10 minutes. We were absolutely shite. And anyway, yeah, on to the fourth goal. I mean, the fourth goal. Harry Maguire has come out before this game and said that he must not be that bad because both managers have picked him and stood by him. He's the captain of the team and he plays every game. All right, well, are you going to back that up with a performance? Well, no. First goal, I put it down to him. Like I said, he's not in line with his defence. He doesn't know whether to come or go. Second goal was a decent one. Third goal, again, he's not stuck to Mane. Mane's in the box on his own, just knocks it in the corner. And the fourth one, again, he's talking himself up before the game. And not only that, he's putting on Twitter and his Instagram how he's spreading all these 40-yard passes all over the place, compilations. Young kid comes on, Maybury, showing a bit of passion, running around, trying to win the ball back, putting a few snappers in, which we should have been doing from minute one, but we looked like we couldn't be asked to run. And then he sends him an absolute hospital pass that he's got. It's 10 yards away from him. He's running back to his own goal. He's got to take it down on his chest under pressure and he loses the ball and the score from it. That's 100% on Maguire. What? You'd be going absolutely mad if anyone did that. It's shocking. So 3 goals are his fault and he's bigging himself up before the game in interviews and on Twitter and that lot. How is he still playing? Like I've said before, I think Ranić was told to go in there and basically he was a puppet to get us to top 4 and he was given no power to do anything apart from try and change the way we play with the same players to get us to that top 4 easily. He tried for 3 or 4 games to change the way we play and press higher and do higher tempo football up the pitch. It backfired. So we had to fall back into the old Ollie tactics. Basically, soak up a load of pressure and wait for a moment off one of the good players, which hasn't been happening. Which is what I want to say about Bruno Fernandes as well, which I mean to say for a couple of videos. Yeah, he's a talented player. He's got loads of goals and assists, especially last year, the year before. But people call him Fernandes for a reason. When VAR first came in, we was getting a penalty every other game, because there was just penalties left, right and centre. They've tightened VAR up on all these penalty decisions and would barely get a penalty. And yeah, his stats are still up there with assists and that, but I'm sure they are when you try 20 assists a game and 1 comes off and the other 20 give the ball away. I mean, stats are a load of shite when you look at it like that. If he has 20 passes a game, I bet 18 of them go to the opposition. It's ridiculous. Like I said in the last video, he needs to simplify his game like we all said about Rashford. As for Rashford, I mean, useless as well. There's 2 or 3 points in the game where he chased the ball down, won it back. There was one where he did it, won it back in his own half, took 2 touches and passed it straight back to him. He had 2 massive chances in the game. That threw 1-on-1 in the first half. Terrible touch, goes back to the keeper. And in the second half, when he's in the box, yeah, he had his back to goal, he had to turn, but he just kicked it straight at Alisson. There's no conviction whatsoever. His confidence is gone. I mean, who would I keep in this Man United squad? If you could completely wipe the slate clean, who would you honestly keep? Probably De Gea, because people moan about his distribution and coming off his line and sweeping up and whatnot. But he's not a problem with this team at the moment. He's going to be player of the year. There's way bigger problems to be solving than David De Gea at the minute. I'd keep Varane, but like I said in my last video, if he cannot prove that he can stay fit between now and the end of the season, I'd seriously consider moving him on, because he'll be another Cavani and loads of money playing one game a month, if that. So it's a huge decision they've got there. He's a class defender, but again, injured. Ronaldo I'd obviously keep, but he's going to probably, well, everyone says he's going to stay now. I think if someone comes in for him in a Champions League club with a decent offer, he'd still go. And Bruno, I guess, because he has potential, he has shown what he can do. He's just been given a new contract, but there's huge question marks over him now. And who else? Who else is there? Sancho. I keep Sancho. He's only just come to the team. He's benched by Solskjaer after chasing him for 2 years. Comes on. We bought him for the right-hand side. He's playing on the left. He had a good spell. Then he's been off it for the last 3 or 4 games, but he was all right when he come on yesterday, to be fair to him. And I know that everyone says top 4 still on, and it technically probably is, but I mean, what do you think about Arsenal at the weekend? Probably a draw. Neither team will want to lose that. It's too big a game. Yeah. So, when do we play Arsenal? Sunday. Yeah. So I don't know what he's going to do there. I wonder if he'll start Hannibal and Alanga. I don't know if Fred and McTominay will be back. I assume probably McTominay will, because he was on the bench. So McTominay will probably start. I mean, I said it in my last video or two, that Maguire, for his own sake, needs taken out of the firing line. There's no recovering for him now in a Man United shirt. He has become the next Phil Jones. He's a running joke. He can't do anything right. He's kicking Pogba in the head. He's nutting Ronaldo. Probably 50% of every single goals we score, if not more, there's some involvement of Maguire doing something ridiculous. I can't understand how he still plays, and I think I've alluded it to before and went off on another tangent, but it's got to be that Ranić was probably told that he had to keep him captain, not to upset the apple cart too much when he come in. He's given no power for transfers in January, and I think he's had to die by his sword leaving Maguire as captain. Because he's captain, he's going to play when he's fit. I know people say we don't have to play the captain, and he doesn't, but what team drops the captain? Normally the captain should be undroppable. The problem is Maguire is the most droppable player in that entire squad. I mean, I think Dalot had a nightmare at left back against Salah, so they stuck Wan-Bissaka out there because he's a better one-on-one defender. Tellers can't get in the team, even when Shaw's injured, against a decent left winger. There's just no... The only thing you can look forward to is that we've now got Ten Hag in. We've got rid of 2 scouts today, which will hope that Ranić and Ten Hag will be looking for some proper scouts. And that we do get someone like Paul Mitchell. And that's the only positive you can take now, is that Arnold does seem to be giving the reign to Ranić and the people below him, as Murta and Fletcher. At least, I mean, I don't know what Fletcher's doing on the touchline again, but at least he knows about Man United and he's a football person, so he understands football, or you would hope he does, but from on the previous 5 months, you'd be very worried about it. But if you've got Murta and Fletcher get him out of that dugout and just get him upstairs overseeing these things, and if Mitchell comes in, Ranić, Ten Hag, his coaches, the new scouting staff actually scout some players that are not overpaid, overpriced and useless. Because as Graham Souness said yesterday on Sky, and I hate Graham Souness, he does my nutting. As he would, because he's a Scouser fan. I'm sure he does most other Man United fans' heads in, but he spoke some truths yesterday about one of these teams over the last 10 years has had the worst recruitment in English football, and one of them has had the best. And the best is not Man United. Our scouting network, transfer policy, overpaying, overpriced. Hopefully we've seen the back of it now. Hopefully this is the cultural change that United needed, with Woodward leaving and Arnold and Murta in charge and all of these football people coming in. But it's got to be upon a point where you just expect him to lose. You never expect a performance. If they can't perform versus Everton and Norwich, they're not getting anything out of that Liverpool game. You're delusional if you thought they were ever going to get anything. Best they could have hoped for was to just keep the score to 1-0 by defending in a back five all game, and Liverpool nicked one, but within 4 minutes they'd already totally balls that one up. But anyway, been ranting again for 16 minutes, so enjoy the video, like, favourite and subscribe. Sick of talking about the same thing, but what else can you talk about? Oh yeah, Jesse Lingard actually coming out after the game saying this one should have been a free hit. All we had to do was run around and show some passion. This is coming from a guy who shouldn't be at the club. A free hit against Liverpool. If you'd have run around and made it a bit hard for him, apparently that's now acceptable. This is the problem. Apparently just running around a bit and making it a bit hard for a good Liverpool side is now acceptable to most of these players, and that is the problem. And I will leave you on that before I go off on another tangent. Like, fave, sub, comment, and push.